might be able
ทำไม
to
มัน
save them.
มัน
He's
นิ่ง
made
ทุก
big
คนเลย
plays
เกาหลี
before with the blade storm. There's one.
โอ้
And not two.
Yeah.
Damage, but no kills.
ขาดไปเล่มหนึ่ง
Oh,
เอ้ย
Oh! Manya has a chance. Somehow this has come back into a winnable scenario. Just needs to
โอ้โห
might start to panic, might make a mistake, and with Munchkin inside the smoke isolated, that might just be the mistake they were looking for.
Oh, this could be big.
Ow.
He switches away, and it's just going to be the shutdown.
Woo.
Surely from Meteor.
เกี่ยง
And it's
เท่
time
ท่าน
to
ผู้ช
slow
ม
down as the barriers go up on split.
Yeah, and it's looking like we're going to get a brawl to start things off. Both teams with the majority of their players set up outside this A site. They both run pistols in this direction
Oi.
before. Good nade coming out of Forsaken already, and
Oi,
something. A Mind Freak peeking off the back of it. They're going to be stuck in the corner
Oi.
early on. This is a great start for Paper X.
ผมมันซัดกันสุด
Munchkin's
เล
in
ยว่ะ
danger as well.
Ui.
He tried to jump away.
น้ำหนึ่งไวหรือเปล่า
สุดไหม
สำรับ
สุดไหม
VPR
สุดไหมถามแค่นี้ก่อน
Gen G, 2 versus 5, barely any
สุดไหม
damage done.
พูดในคำเดียวเลยว่าไม่ต้องเล่น
But they have to hope
สุ
for
ดไหม
some serious mistakes at this point. The Paper X go
ผมว่าผม
running forward.
ว่า PIX
เดี๋ยว
ช
ต้อ
นะ
งเอา
Even rotate, assuming that it's
เปิดทำไมขึ้นทำไม
there's no
ยินดี
real
ต้อนรับ
need
ครับ
for panic on the defensive side. They're just going to hunker down and wait for Gen G to take a step forward and give them the first pistol round win.
Yeah, I think the scary prospect as well is that on this map in particular, we have seen some sort of rougher attack sides out of Gen G. Obviously, that is helped a little bit by having that Omen instead of the Astra. But other than that, it's an absolutely flawless.
ฟอร์เรทไปก่อนเลยครับ
As I said, expectations for Paper X is this is the map that they'll win. If it's going to happen in this series, I think the next two, I would favor to Gen G
เฮ้ยน้อง
even
ม่อนเอาไป
more
ส
so
อง
because of the fact that we saw recently on Lotus the changes to the comp for Paper X, and I'll be honest, I didn't like it. it didn't look good. So this is the map that I feel like
ลืมนับวินาที
Paper
เล
X
ยครับ
have to
พี่
win.
พี่
The
เอ๋ยครับ
problem
ฝาก
is
นับวิ
throughout
นาที
this
เลยครับพี่
tournament, I've said that,
20
and then they've won the other
Oh.
map
Yeah.
because that's just how they are. They just manage to adapt. They have the individual players that
น่า
sometimes
จะ
they
น่า
can just
น่าจะข
crack
นม
through
ว่ะ
a
เกม
map.
นี้
And that is rare. Like, it is very difficult to have people
สาม
that
เก้า
are on that level.
สามแปด
At least from the
37
games we've had, Tom,
36
it has been
35
an insane
34
percentage
Okay.
of teams trading
Yeah,
out
you
their
draw
own
deal
map
gun.
picks, losing your pick and winning your opponents. Gen G, they've not got off to a great start, and as the push
Oi.
comes in, okay,
Oi.
actually they're getting close. The pressure's kind of being applied to Munyet now, blinded up, he's taken down. Okay, it's not a bad start at all for Gen
Oi.
G, gaining some ground, now winning some more fights. When he
Oi.
was
Oi.
up, okay, it looks like
Oi.
they tidied it up eventually, but that got very scary for a moment.
I would love
ไม่
to
เสียหาย
see
เท่าไหร่
Forsaken's POV in that because what it looked like he did was jump down from the heavens with an outlaw.
ทำไมพวกคุณ
and
อุ้ย
try
กัน
and
เนี่ย
face
ผม
their
ยังไม่
entire
ถึง
team.
เลยวะ
Now, that would be ridiculous to
Dude,
even
ฝรั่ง
attempt,
เนี่ย
but
ใช่ครับ
But do you know who he is?
yes,
มันจะช้า
well, he just
ฝรั่ง
lost his gun.
พี่
It's
เห็น
now
ไม่
been
ดีเลยแต่
confirmed that he's bought a judge
ถ้ามันจะดีเลย์
to
น่าจะ
replace it. So
ได้
that-
ได้ยิน
again,
ช้ากว่า
if
มัน
you're talking
4-5
about
วิ
if you're talking about Forsaken, he's basically answered the question himself.
Well, it looks like we're going to be using that dash very early on for something. He's getting aggressive. Wall goes up. He's ahead of it. Looking to take someone down. He got the shot off.
แลกกันเป็นคนละเม็ด
Left on Meteor.
ดีนะ
But
ไม่
that's
เท
the
โอ
one
เกาะ
problem.
ใหญ่
If you're the one taking contact with that outlaw,
ไม่งั้นละกระเด็น
you're not going to kill
they
the
have
player.
Sky.
You need to get out.
That's the thing. They can just heal him back up, so that it's actually not that problematic for what was an early battle. You can already see heading over in that direction. Munya is going to get aggressive as well. Bear in mind, this purchase is fairly weak for Paper X. Normally, you'd see a rifle or two in the mix, but this is just SMGs. It can work, more so on Split than probably any other map. This crossfire is fairly nasty, but that's the thing I've really enjoyed about Gen G. They've been methodical. They've been careful throughout this tournament.
มัน
They are
มัน
not
เรียก
one
ว่า
of
เอาหน้า
those
บี
teams that
คื
are
น
just aggressively running in and blitzing their way through rounds. They can. They have the skill to do it, but they're always, especially in these sort of rounds, very careful.
And it looks like caution's paid off for them. Whatever noise they made on A has sold it to Paper X, who are now running the gamble on an A stack. Of course,
Oh,
there's
ไปซื้
an
อ A
outlaw
เลยครับ
there that could be retrieved. I doubt it even will be. It's quite far up, and the player that will pick it is in heaven, because that spike plant should be coming down in a little bit. Paper
30
X,
seconds
hear
left.
no noise, see
25
nobody
วิ
here. There's a flash still on Divide that could be used to clear outside of it, but this late on in the game, you're just going to sit there, hope they dive into you. And as we can see, they've gone to the exact other side of the map. So for Paper X, you know, it's hard to get back into a site with these weapons as well, especially a site like this where pretty much every fight on the way in is long range.
See, normally you talk about, okay, maybe going down to the spike or just trying to hold for
น้องข
exit.
ย้อนส่วนใหญ่โอ้ย
But I am waiting
ไม่ง่วงครับ
for
วันนี้
Forsaken
มา
to
แบบ
attempt to
เต็ม
try and
ร้อย
spike through something, and already
เกินร้อยวันนี้
Mind Freak taking a lot of control. Now, Texture in a fairly solo position. There's a chance. There's the blast packs already. And there's
Ui.
the judge. Exactly what Forsaken does. He got a rifle, but it's very
Oh.
short-lived. Well held by Gen G, even with a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, I mean, they spread themselves out there. Lots of space. So even
มัน
when
มา
that
แล้ววะ
judge gets up close, he's only getting
เนีย
the
น
one,
กิ๊บ
and it's an immediate drop. The rest of the players easy to deal with when you've got that kind of weaponry
Something
advantage
operator.
and you're not caught out of position. 2-1. It's a fairly bog standard start to the game. Pistol win for PaperX, follow up, and then they lose. I mean, the one thing that we'll say is that maybe that third round could have seen a bit more damage out of that side. But again, they did gamble on a site. It
Like
didn't work
Yamano.
out. This is what happens. The opportunity, though, to deal that damage here as we get the operator out on something right away. And the shot
Ui.
is not landed, but yet good for one and drop the B site under threat. But Gen G back off. The whole time he's been leaving Meteor outside of A to catch a rotation. He hasn't found one, but one can assume that rotation's going on through the spawn right now if you're Gen G. They don't know that.
แล้วซัมติงมันโอเปอเรเตอร์แบบ
Yeah, they
ทุก
also
โลอ่ะ
flashed mid on the defensive side. So
Echo
they had
กระโดด
the
ไปยิง
information
โอ้
that
โห
there was no one there, so
มั่น
they
ใจ
were able
จริง
to gamble an early rotation in towards this A site. Forsaken
โยก
still
กลับ
with
มา
the
ที่
judge,
A ครับ
just going to make sure
พอส
he
อยู่
keeps
2 คน
controlling
อุ้ย
mid, but
เดิน
it's
เนียน
slightly
โด
more
นวอล
stacked
ปิดจัง
up
หวะ
than
นี้
you might expect. The only problem is he might get caught. He's switching between
ถือว่า
utility. Finally, will pull the gun out, but the aggression of his teammate
จังหวะ
gets
นี้ล้นไปหน่อยครับ
absolutely nothing
เรียบร้อย
involved. There is the four
ชิป
of the
หายแล้วครับผม
judge.
เป
Not
เปอร์
gonna
เล็ก
find anything more, and for something, I hope to God he's going to save.
It's not the round you want to see him throw his life away for, is it? A 1v3
Don't
with
save.
the op? Possible, winnable, but not to be. If you had a
ส
few
ถาน
more
การณ์ไม่
kills
ค่อย
along
สู้
the
ดีเท่าไหร่
way,
ตอนนี้
a few more
โดน
orbs
บุกไป
picked
แล้ว
up,
2
something like that, maybe risk it with the blade storm, but even then the
ต
op
อนนี้
is
อ
just
เล็ก
so
น่า
expensive.
ต้องคิดแล้ว
Doesn't want to throw it out. And for Gen G, I think they're sort of
พอ
realizing
สทุบตอนไหนดี
they
วะเนี่ยตอนนี้
heard the op earlier on, right? They know that it's
เฮ้ย
in
ขอบคุณน้อง
play.
พาวนะครับ น้องพาว 11
So
เดือน
they're
นะครับ ส
gone
วัสดีครับผม
spread out.
ครับผม
Already sending Munchkin to try and find this player.
เมื่อกี้ไม่
and
ฟิกพลาดนะไม่ฟิก
based on the
น่าจะได้
time,
สัก
it
ตัว
looks
หนึ่ง
like he might be safe. They'd have to start
รีบ
hightailing
ไป
in
หน่อยค
that
รับเมื่อกี้
direction now. So an op for the next round, but just look at the credits.
แต่เขา
on
จะได้เพื่อน
PaperX.
โดนเนี่ยจะไปร
It's
วบ
not
หลัง
like they're going to be
เขา
able to
เก่
fully
ง
recover into a standard buy. I think the pendulum's
Echo
kind of
อยู่ครับ
swinging in Gen G's favor now at 2-2. Economy's under their control, and ults will come online soon.
Yeah, and as I said, when we saw them play against CDG, they had a really
ดู
stellar,
ไม่เป็นไรฮะ
aggressive and confident defensive side. So I
ดู
think
ครับ
them
ว่าไง
any
ไหม
sort of grinding out of these early rounds
พี่
is
มี
really
คนไหม
important. Sure, you're
ตอน
still
นี้
going
ไม่
to
มี
have
เล
an
ย
operator onto something, which alone can be enough to cause issues in the round. But as said, they've been methodical. Their utility's been good. They instantly had a snake bite that went through to deny him that early aggression. It's expected at this point. By the looks of things,
ซัมติงต้องเสก
they
วินนี้
could be going for an
โอ้โห
early A take.
แล้ว
They
เจนจี
are
มาทำเอ
all set up outside.
หนีซัมติงไปยึดแรมไว
I liked what I saw last round. I don't know if you caught it in the replay, Tom.
เดี๋ยว
but fist bump into a high five.
แงมเข้าไป
See
ชิบ
how
หาย
many
แล้ว
high
โอ้
fives
โห
there are for Gen G after this one. They've got a
เฮ้ย
lot of
ขาว
space, but that flash was perfect. Deadly from Divide.
แล้วมัน
ไม่ได้
ยังไงวะ
เป็นไม่ได้
Towards the
เป็นไม่ได้
elbow.
แล้วมันยังไง
ไม่
อะ
ได้
And he's actually got a teammate in
ยัง
there.
ไง
I
จัง
don't
หวะ
know
นี้
if they've seen
นี่
Forsaken,
ไง
but they certainly have
อุ้ย
now at heavy cost. Smokes are down, but so
ล้านสี่
too
เลย
are the majority of
Look at
PaperX
now.
players. It's only
ลัก
something
เกียร์
left
ทำ
when
ไม
he
วันนี้
has
มึง
that
ลั่นจัง
op.
วะ
The 1v2
ซัมติง
didn't
เส
go
กห
for
รือ
it.
เปล่า
1v3,
เป้าจับจัด
it's
นี่
tempted
วิน
him.
นี่มันเล่นใน
It's
บี
pulled
อะ
him in for the fight. He hasn't found them to start off though, and that dash
ไป
already
ซ้อม
Something.
มา
wants to close the distance. So many tough angles, tight angles to clear with this op in
ซัมติง
hand.
ลงปานหมด
No idea there's a player up top. He's checking
โอ้ย
an angle. What a shot!
Yo.
But Lucky was close by, ready for that play.
ฟิกช็อต
The third
ขอบคุณน้อง
round
เดือนน้องหลุย
for
เก้าเดือนนะครับผม
MG
ไปนะฮะ
They're running away with this early
What the
game.
fuck
Yeah, still a close round for what was invested.
คือมือแทบ
That was
หัก
a decent stack up in the early stages
Alex,
from
พอไปยังอะ
PaperX, just basically having the majority.
ยังพี่
And
อเล็ก
somehow
บอก
managing to
บอ
dodge
มืออยู่
shots that I don't really know how
จะ
they
ทุบแล้ว
did,
รอ
but
อยู่อากาศเย็นอยู่เลย
bringing it down to just one player surviving, keeping that economy a little bit more honest for Gen G, and well, you see the danger of how fast this man is with the operator.
How?
The problem though is he's not going to be able to have it for this round. They didn't
How?
have the
เนี่ย
extra
ฟิกแบบนี้
finances and
เฮ้ยเย็นลัก
quick
เกียร์ใจเย็น
trading again.
ใจเย็น
The fundamentals of Gen G sublime.
1 kill, 1 death as well, so he's still 2 away from a blade storm. So we're down to just that rifle. But as we said,
โอ้โห
ultis
เจ
were
สัน
coming
มึงไม่ใช่
online.
พี่
We
ลู
saw
ด
the
ไง
seekers used by Lakia, finding a lot of information. This time around, PaperX have theirs, but also a
มันเป็น
showstopper
เก่า
online.
หน้าบี
That's
มอน
a
มัน
big
จี้หน้าบี
weapon
ไม่
to
หยุด
have
เล
in
ย
the
ว่ะ
back
ไม่ให้
pocket
เดิน
of Forsaken. and could play a role later on in the round. For Gen G, you can see their spread. This is a full default play. At this point, they're expecting Paper X to make some adaptations and to throw out some of that signature early round aggression. Still hasn't happened though. They're happy to bunker down and wait for that push to come through.
ทิ้งเก็ต
Like
ไว้
I said,
เอ
the
หร
other
อ
problem here,
เข้าลบเหร
Gen
อ
G have a lot of credits built up. If Paper X lose this round, it's going to be a
เอ้า
sky
ชิบ
high.
หายแล้วครับ
Maybe when
เจสัน
that is
เจ
not
สันมีอันตี
the start they were looking for. Two
อันตีห
players
รือเปล่า
down immediately.
อันตีไหม
Forsaken's been
ยัง
a hero before, but down to just 5 HP. That's not really going to work too well.
น่าจะถอยไปฮิวก่อนหรือเปล่า
Oh, the-
ถอยไปฮิวก่อนครับ
mid,
เล่น
but
รีเทค
also in towards the A
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
The
yeah.
realization's there eventually.
ไมฟิก
Mindfreak can win this battle. It could be huge.
Oh, no, Mindfreak
I don't
ชิบ
think
หาย
they
ละ
expect him. It's such an obscure position to be in, but then it's almost revealed. Divide though has done well.
อุ้ยแต่ดาวไว
Brings
ซ่อม
back
ให้
two
ครับดาวไว
kills.
ซ่อมให้
The
วัน
spike
นี้กลาย
just
เป็น
about
2-2
making it to the site, and it is going to bait in.
แล้ว
Nice
มัน
work
กิน
from
แม่ง
the
นี่
side
เล
of
ย
Munchkin.
โอ้โหสุดท้ายไปป้าพิษเลยวะ
เจสันอันติใส่ไปพี่เก็บหนึ่งครับผมกระโดดเข้าซ้ายคัดวาง
He's been ever so
เอาไม่ใช่
devastating. Showstopper
เฮ้ย
might just be able to clear
เอ้า
it into the Viper's pit, but actually
โอ้
Munchkin's
เห็น
just
แว
teamed
บ
up
ๆป่ะ
with
พี่
his
เมื่อกี้
น่าจะเห็นน่าจะเห็น
left it. Doesn't even mind about the pit. I
Yes,
don't
I'm-
know if it's
Oh.
realized, but it doesn't even matter. Loses the fight to his counter raise,
Go on,
and the
go on.
march continues on for Gen G.
Gen G are having a field day right now. Like I mentioned, the economy was in their favor. The ults that were there for Paper X burned up in that round to try and gain some semblance of an
need to
advantage.
talk.
Divide did incredibly well.
We need ว่ะ
In his position, he stayed down in screens, waited for the swing out with the player Munchkin up top.
ใครสโมครูปเมื่อกี้เนี่ยตรงกลาง
sacrificing
พี่มอน
himself
เอง
so out in the open.
มอนเอง
They
เหรอ
swung to try and trade him.
นี่อเล็ก
Divide
พอ
had
ด
that
มาวินนี้เลย
beautiful
นะ
off angle to just rip them to shreds. We're seeing elements of that team play there from Paper X. We're seeing
The statistics posted earlier is like, you compare the 5v4 conversion, Gen G, I think it's like 70 something
ไอ้
percent.
7กับ8เหรอ มัน
It's
มัน
only
จบ
like
ที่
60
8อะต้องรอ
But then
ภา
they
ค
have
ต่อ
a higher
พี่เอ๋ก็มี
4v5
ชื่อมอน
because
ใน
they
ชื่อ
have
เหมือนกัน
those
นี่ว่า
individuals that can
อ๋อ
turn around
Demon
and it's not the greatest
Mon
stat you want to
yet.
have ever because you'd rather just be winning the rounds outright. But they need some of those heroes to come online because they've been okay, but it's not been enough to take rounds off Gen G.
Haven't seen the numbers of clutches from Gen G versus Paper X, but Paper X also do very well in those
เต็ม
late
ระบบ
rounds.
เต็มระบบ
Players like Forsaken previously bailed them from so many situations.
Why?
Now, weaker weapons like we said, and close range
ไม่มันให้ยืมได้แบบนี้
supplies.
พาพี่ดูแต่ตอนกลางคืนให้ยืมได้นะ
Mindfreak
พี่เลย
has
พี่เลย
picked up
เอาไป
one, but Karen is making
เพื่อน
this
สัง
one
เกตว่า
look
ทัวร์เนี้ย
easy.
เวลาคู่ต่อ
Three
สู้จด
kills
น่ะ
already
แม่งเล่นเร็ว
under
เลย
his belt. 40 HP.
ไม่ให้แบบว่า
ใช่
เออ
It looks like he's going to get this one easily with Mindfreak. Drop
ผมว่าดีนะ
fourth kill of the
เวลา
round.
คู่ต่อสู้
Confidence
ตอนไป
builder
เล่น
if
ช้า
ever
แล้ว
I've
โด
seen
น
one.
เชอริฟตัดที
And
ละ
that's
ค
the
นนะ
last thing that Paper X
Man,
wants to
how
give
boy.
their opponent. Again, not talking about them losing the round. That's expected. It's the amount of players still alive on Gen G. They're farming
Oh, oh.
credits by the minute, but something has picked up one more. 3 to go. One hell of a play if he made it. And it ain't going to happen. Look at that
ยังไงดี
firing squad down below.
Yeah, I think against any other team maybe it'd have a
เออ
chance,
เดี๋ยว
but Gen G
เอา
have
ให้
been so good just
มัน
playing
ต้องล็อก
off
อิน
of
ทิ้ง
each
ไว้
other,
นะ
trading
ดูในโทรศัพท์หรือว่า
effectively.
ต้องล็อกอิน
They
โทร
don't
ศัพท์ทิ้ง
even
ไว้
lose another member of the squad.
เฮ้ย
5
หรือมัน
and 2, and I
บอล
love
แพ้
this
ทาง
sort
วะ
of
เนี่ย
switch up in tempo, especially in these anti-eco
มันตั้งแต่
rounds.
นี่นะ
They
พี่
don't allow
ตั้งแต่
their
ไอ้
opponents
รอบ
to
แป
really
ซิฟิก
figure
อะ
out anything that's going
ตอนแรก
on.
ผมไม่คิด
Because
ว่า
the
เจนจี
instant
แม่ง
team
จะชนะ
needs
เล
to
ย
back a site, information clearing things out. The rest of the team quickly execute, and Karen actually
เพราะว่า
sticks
เจนจี
around
ใน
and
จุดเปลี่ยน
keeps
เลย
the spot,
คาร์ลอน
keeps
อะ
the
ตลอ
control.
ดเนี่ย
เออ
Doesn't allow
ไม่
anybody to
ไม่
get
เด่น
too
แต่
far
มัน
ahead,
แบบ
and he even takes
เรื่อยๆ
some
ก็บอก
4
เลยว่า
kills while he's at
ทีม
it
อื่น
as
ได้แชม
well.
ป์โลกเพราะเขายังไม่เล่น
This is definitely where on the side of Paper X you start to feel that mental pressure
ต้องรอดู
applied.
อะพี่ครับ
Defense has been tested again and again. They failed the test again and again.
มีสายล่างครับผมมีสายล่างไม่
For
ตก
Gen G, and now ultis are there.
Oh.
Showstopper fired off, and Mon yet
ไอ้มอน
had
มึงไม่
no
ทำสเต็ป
chance.
อ่ะ
No smokes on the way back
เพิ่ง
through.
จะฉาบ
No
ขึ้นก่อน
paranoia to play.
เห็นแม่นี่
Still
กู
some flashes on Divide.
กูจด
But
ไว้แล้วหนึ่ง
Paper X set up with a man disadvantage on retake seconds into the round.
Yeah,
มันวิ่งยาวขึ้น
it's
ก่อน
not going to be easy to get back in here. As
แล้วจะ
said,
ขึ้นเฮเว่นอีกสเต็ปหนึง
they're not
มึง
bad
ช้า
in
ปล่อย
these
ไปเลยดีกว่าถ้ามึงคิด
4v5s,
แค่นั้น
but Gen G are even better in the 5v4s.
โอ้โห
Open up
เละ
again.
เทะ
ยากว่ะ
เละเทะ
Takes down
แล้ว
another Forsaken trying his best, but he's almost dead. It is in.
อุ้ย
Bob, Blacky and Meteor combined might be one of the fastest rounds we've ever had in the VCT.
ไม่ได้เถียง
That was so quick from Gen G. And you could just see the more the confidence build, the
ไม่ถ้าโล
faster
ตัส
these
ไปเบเล็ก
takes
ชอบ
are
แพ้
getting.
ด้วยนะ
Gen G getting
ผม
opener
สังเกต
after
นะ
opener.
เจน
They've
จี
used
แมปไหน
a couple
ที่
of ults, but
ไอ้
they're also
สองคนนี้
able
ได้
to
เล่นดู
stagger
รี
it.
พร้อมกัน
Like
นะ
talking about Showstopper used this round, last round they
เป็น
used
โคตรดี
from
อะ
shadows.
โอ้ยมอ
Again,
น
the same sort of
แต่ก็ยัง
information.
สู้ไง
Although that's already back online.
พี่ลองสังเกตไอ้แมปเนี้ยไอ้
Yay,
เจน
oh,
จีอะ
wow.
ถ้าไอ้นี่ได้เล่นดูรีสองคนอะ
Spaces around prior.
ไม่งเล่นโคตรดีเลย
And then Kara got 4 kills. That's why it's back on.
ไม่ได้ว่ะ
เมเทโอกับไอ้เท็กเจอร์อะ
This
จะ
has
มี
to
บี
be
ทอีกแมปหนึ่งอะ
a crushing one for PaperX off rip.
โยรู้ด้วย
แม่งเล่นโคตรดีอ่ะ
They're left to weaker weapons.
เมเทโอไงไอ้สัตว์
They've actually managed to mix a buy with light shields and full shields on something because he doesn't need a
จากเซนติ
weapon.
เนลไอ้สัตว์
5 knives locked and
ให้เจนจี
loaded.
ครับผมให้เจนจี
See what
2-1
they can do with those. But the reality is, yeah, the momentum is very
มัน
much
เปลี่ยนใจ
in
แล้วตอนนี้
GG's favor. The economy is riding
สงสัย
high
จะไม่ใช่
several reinvestments.
ไม่ได้2วินแล้วยาวเลย
Credits on that right-hand side. It's looking pretty for a number of rounds to go.
แต่ว่า
For the rest
คอม
of this
คอม
half.
มัน
ทำไมเขาลุกใส่กันบ่อย
คอมมันเปิดหน้าสู้
Possible
ทั้ง
for a
2 ทีมครับผม
6-6 scoreline, but it has to start
2-6 ก็ยัง
here.
คัมแบ็กได้
Much
อยู่
better defense. Now we talked about some
The read's
aggression
good.
from this PaperX
ต้องรอดู
side, seeing it early on in rounds.
Jar.
A minute left on the clock.
Oi.
They're
Oi.
going for it. Good paranoia, but the
อะไรวะน่ะ
points don't go their way.
เลิก
Gen G.
โอ้หมด
Every single one.
โอ้โห
There's no
คารอน
competition
คุม
to
มาก
barely a lick of damage done, and what is negated by the heal. This is a disaster. Something might be able to
ทำไมมัน
save them.
มัน
He's
นิ่ง
made
ทุก
big
คนเลย
plays
เกาหลี
before with the blade storm. There's one.
โอ้
And not two.
Yeah.
Damage, but no kills.
ขาดไปเล่มหนึ่ง
Oh,
เอ้ย
oh! Munya has a chance. Somehow this has come back into a winnable scenario. Just DT.
โอ้โห
So unfortunate.
ไนท์ไทาย
A nice
ขาดนัดหนึ่ง
try for the new man on the block. I didn't think there was any way that round was going to become competitive.
พี่มอนเกือบแจ้งเกิดอีกรอบ
But somehow Munya made it close. The thing is, though, again, you just have to give props to Gen G.
คือสิ่งที่มึงทำเสียไปมันมากกว่าสิ่งที่มึงทำดีอะ
They had their
กู
whole
จดไว้ละ
team just
อเล็ก
waiting
บอก
ready
จ
for
ดต่อ
that push to come through. And
โอ้โห
short
อเล็กจดเยอะจังวะพี่
Viperdemon was good onto a couple of
อเล็ก
but the deeper
จดไม่
players
หยุด
were
เลยอเล็ก
so ready for that push to come in. It
หนัง
ends up
สือ
being
เล่ม
quite
นี้
an
ใช้
easy
แค่วัน
fight.
เดียว
ใช่ไอ้เฮียมอนไปแล้วครึ่งหน้า
Yeah, like I said,
Yo.
there's no chance of them losing that clean. I thought something would be the hero,
Madrid
but
มันเอา
Munya,
เรื่องจังวะ
they complimented his calling and his play in the video we saw earlier, and I can see why if he's fragging out like that. But again, close but no cigar. 7-2. Gen G finding next to no struggles.
บัตรไก่คนนี้ด้วย
Close
เทคเจอร์
opportunity for PaperX.
กำลังมาเลย
This
ช่วง
could
นี้
look very different, but instead
ดูที่ห้อยก็บัดดี้ก็รู้แล้วเรื่อง
Stingers
แส
to
ง
play
เลย
with. Sheriff
Hey, man.
Unforsaken. And Texture's got confidence for days. He sees an eco and he's diving down into vents after them.
The thing is, they've got so much control towards mid that they have to just be wrapping out from another position. But look how passive the players are. They know that there's going to be weaker weaponry, so they're just not giving them any of the close range fights.
สงสัยจะ
Karen up from
2-0 ว่ะ
above,
ทรง
there's
นี้
not really an easy way to kill it. Maybe there is. Somehow Munya got past all the defenses. Even still, though, his post-barn looks strong. Nade still available. They've been taking these sites so quickly that they've had no problems just having late utility. Wow, the time almost looks like it's gone. Trying to bait some space, but it's all too easy for Gen G.
Hey.
Another three-man
เอาไป
plus.
8แล้วนะเจนจี
8-2 on the board. And this is PaperX's map. They have lost 8 rounds in a row. Other than the pistol in second round, they've achieved nothing.
It's hard to think about. Even the round that was close, Tom, it comes on the back of the player needing a 4K to get it across the line. It's not what you want to see. Early on in a series, on a map that previously Gen G got absolutely obliterated on within their region. Now they come to the international stage and
They might do one better.
Yeah, 13-4 us, well 13-2 you.
โอ้โห
An opportunity here at least to shut
Ui.
down the first and the second.
Ma
Magenta
la
as
wa.
well. Rockets on point. And with Lakia down, it looks like PaperX are set to finally put another round on the board. Long have they waited. It's Karen to try to challenge, and he got an opportunity.
Iya,
But it
pau
was
yang
shut down
lian.
eventually by something with
Ui.
only one standing. It's an easy win. 8-3. PaperX
ที่จังหวะแบบเมื่
finally
อกี้ยัง
back
มี
on
แบ
the
บอารม
board,
ณ์
but
ซูมเต็ม
hell
หั
of
ว
a
นะ
distance yet to go.
Yeah, and again,
ก็เป็นซูม
it
แบบ
comes
รีเซ็ต
also
ด้วยนะซูม
brilliance out of Forsaken.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
had
hang on.
support.
โอ้เต็มต่อยแม่งกดอย่างไวอ่ะ
Get that kill if it's not for Munya
ผม
being
เห็น
able
มี
to
คนหนึ่ง
kill
ไว
off
กว่า
the
นี้
close player, but
ใครวะ
ชื่ออาซูน่าพี่
a breath of life. We've seen
เต็มปุ๊บ
them
ก
have
ดเลย
strong attack
ไม่ว่า
in
สถานการณ์เป็น
half
ยังไง
so even a sort of 8-4 scoreline wouldn't be a complete death sentence.
แม่งยิงตัวหนึ่งกดเลยอะเต็มหลอดอะยังไม่รู้สถานการณ์บวก
Looking
แล้วบวก
at two operators on the
Double
attack.
operator, double duelist ว่ะ
Obviously, it's something that can be dropped.
ก่อน
But
ที่
they're
เปลี่ยนปืน
waiting
กล
for aggression here, and it's coming. It's coming.
They ain't waiting in the right spot though. Those ops are elsewhere. And that mid control is going to be completely conceded. The golden gun on Lakia. Good to see him
ตกใจ
showing
เลย
up.
ดิ
Really swinging.
ไกลจัด
I think he's currently 12
ก็
and
เป็นไปได้ครับ
6
น้อง
KD
สุ
on
ภ
the
วิท
board
เพราะว่า
to
พวกนี้มัน
push it even
เจอกัน
further
บ่อย
at
ครับผม
8-3.
แต่พี่บอกเลย
PaperX
ไอ้
trying to
โซ
push
โล่
up
เนี่ย
denied. Now
แม่ง
it
ฉ
seems
ลาด
they're
มาก
caught one foot in the grave. They don't know
แบบ
whether
ข
they
องจริงอะ
continue on that aggression or reset
ไปเป็นเล็กถึงโดน
the
มาหลาย
later
รอบไง
play, and Genji have not made
ไม่ใช่เป็น
decision.
DRX
Minute
ครับ
5 seconds on the
ส่วน
clock.
มาก DRX ที่แพ้ในเกาหลีก็มีแค่ฝีมือโซโล่เนี่ยนะครับ
มึงถือช็อตตี้เข้ามาเนี่ยนะ
so nervous of so big within the smokes
ไอ้เหี้ย
that
เกมอะไรวะเนี่ย
placed.
กูถามจริ
Most
ง
of
เถอะ
the
วะ
time those smokes are being put down by
น้องมิกกี้สวัสดีครับผม น้องพึ่งสวัสดีครับ
deter aggression, which is exactly what it's done. Texture though might have a fight because they're so passive.
จริงๆแล้วผมไม่ค่อยชอบสเต็ปเกมมันแบบ
There's no one on the
เอะอะ
backside
ใกล้
once
ฟังลู
again,
กซอง
but
อะ
Spike is looking to
ตลก
wrap
ที่
around
หาย
in the other direction. A peek out
เฮ้ย
from something. Oh, I think Meteor's seen him, but it won't matter too much for now. He's going to activate the dash. Something goes peeking, but now I'm just looking at that timer. TP into the backside once more. It's been cleared out, so the spike will be able to go down. This almost has to be a complete
น้องเขาไม่มา
retake.
ดีครับผม อุ้ย
Oh, nice shot by
โอ้โห
Lackey as well.
ที่จับบนช้า
This is
อันนี้ก็เหมือนกัน
Spike drop.
An opportunity indeed with that spike down 15 seconds.
14 วิครับ
Time for Genji
ได้วางหรือเปล่า
Munchkin has to step out from that
จั
corner.
งหวะนี้ยากมาก
They need a
เวลา
dive
ก
on
ดดัน
that spike
สุด
and get it
ๆ โอ้หมด
Viperdemon are in their way.
สามหัว
Four rounds at the half. It's not
มี
a
รี
death
เพลย์ดูไหม
sentence like you said,
48
Tom,
นี่ก็ได้อยู่นะ
certainly nothing to celebrate. This has been a strong performance
พอม
from
นี้
Genji.
48 ถือว่าไม่แย่นะ
leading the
ได้ปืน
charge
พก
and plenty more left in the
เดี๋ยว
tank for
เอ
this
อ
second half. You have to hope
ผม
that Paper X have got something special planned on their attack because
โอ้โห
this was a really, really rough scenario.
Timing
for
ทำไม
them
มัน
to
ดู
fight
วาง
back.
เป้ามันดูอะไรมันดูง่ายหมด
It
เลยวะ
is definitely a
แข่งอยู่ก็โดนโซโล่เนี่ยแหละ
Their attack side's about to be put to the test, and the big thing to write home about last time was something diving into
Paper
sights. The
X.
thing is, he had a Yoru causing a lot of chaos.
ไม่มี
for
ครับ
him.
ผม
Now
ตอน
it's
นี้
a little bit
ไม่
more
แพ้ใครเลยฮะ
conventional, but that's never
เขา
the
ไม่ได้
name of
แข่ง
the
ครับ
game
ผม
with Paper X. In he goes. Something's looking for a
อุ้ย
fight. Paranoia is perfect.
เหี้ยซิงจัด
Snake
ครับ
Bite's even better. And with
โอ้
1
โห
HP, Lucky doesn't stand a chance.
โอ้
The rest of the squad comes in to save him.
นัว
They
จัด
ended
นัว
up
จัด
falling
นัว
to
จัด
a 3 versus 1 with
เอาแล้วไง
Meteor left
เกมออน
standing
ว่ะ
and his back.
อ้าว
Whoa! Mistake. It almost was a costly one too.
Yeah, the Munya needed to hit that headshot at the end. It looked like there was
ชิบหายแล้วมีคนหลับครับ
Meteor managed to turn that back. Even still though, it is the pistol round for Paper X, and that is the thing. Even with this compositional change,
มันยิ
the
ง
thing
ยาก
that it
มันยิง
adds
ยาก
is
ช็อตแดน
firstly
แล้ว
you're going to have that paranoia
แดน
available
ขา
for
ถึงพื้น
Munya
แล้วถอยหลัง
to
เดิน
sort of
หน้า
set them up
Oh.
as we saw at the beginning of that round. But also, it just almost we're going to continuously see the switch up of who's going in first. So you're going to have Forsaken sometimes taking space for something, maybe if he has that operator in hand, and something in that round taking space for Forsaken. They are a deadly
พูด
duo.
ได้ก่อนเลยว่าหลับยาว
มันจะจัดไป 13เหมือนกันเลยที่เพิ่งเห็น
There's a reason that they went to this combo. Oh, nice shot by Meteor. Opportunity for more, and he's landed that shot as well.
Marshall.
Forsaken's very low, a big help to any teammates that end up taking that fight. We may talk about the outlaw, but this man's making it work with the Marshall, the cheaper weapon. And, okay, an opportunity if they had have spotted the player in the corner. Munyet, though, able to deliver the killing blow. Mind Freak fell to a snake bite. Oh, what is that push from Meteor?
แปลกจัด
You rarely see
เอ้า
a man with the
อุ้ย
goal
น้องมอน
or the gumption
แล้ว
to
สุด
do
ท้ายเข้า
such
หัว
a
พอดี
thing. Karen, 1 versus
So
2.
far away.
A serious opportunity. Yes, he's far away, but that might mean by the time he gets here, he could pick up a weapon.
It depends though, because Paper X. That's the thing. The
แล้วคาร์ลอน
blitz
เขาไปไหน
plays of Paper X have been so
ไปไหนมา
fast.
คาร์ลอนต้อง
There's actually still loads of time. They don't need
น่าจะ
to
ไม่ได้ว่ะ
overpress. They've just thrown out the guiding light, the flash to get them a little bit of extra information. Still no weaponry found. Now Karen does
ต้องได้
have
ปืนได้
himself
เล่น
paranoia. He's brought up
คลาสสิก
his
ยาก
full
อยู่
belt of utility. If he can somehow isolate one of these jewels, for now at least it seems like he's waiting for that site to be taken. Smoke will give that away. The spike being planted. And now he can look to try and see if there's any gun
อ
to
ย่าง
be
นี้คาร์ลอน
had.
ได้เล่นละ
Well, there you have it.
Thank you, Yeti. Yeah, we've got a Bulldog to play with 100 HP. A Paranoia still online. Both smokes. Timing is key.
Oh.
Nice him together. That's a
แม่งทามมิ่ง
3-2-1.
เช็คเลยว่ะ
Perfectly on cue. They won the round, Tom. 3 players
Okay.
down. This definitely isn't how they would have wanted to
เสียหาย
start.
นิดหน่อย
When
แต่
they
ได้
add
อยู่
to
ครับ
that
ผ
that
ม
it's a Marshall
เป็น
headshot.
3
Okay, what can you do? And another Marshall headshot from a guy pushing a smoke close range, using it like a shotgun. That's not going to feel great. And the other player died to a snake bite. So few kind of random engagements that
ถ้า
ended
เม
up
เทโอได้ สกายนี่
rocking
อ
the
ย่าง
boat
เว
a
อร์
little bit for Paper X. We'll see how they
มันเอามาแชลเดินมาจิ้ม
Player
หัว
really don't want those ults to be going over to his Meteor. 3 away from the Blade Storm. Even just a bit of damage in this round, and he'll have something for the next. Now, this purchase from Paper X has players now fairly low on cash. You've got Forsaken and Mind Freak down at 150 credits. So for the next round, they might be in a little bit of trouble. Forsaken, though, he's just gone walkabouts. He's sprinting after Lakia, but he isn't going to be able to land the shot. And at least for now, it's only going to be the control that's lost for Gen G.
No heavy price tag associated with it. Down in vent, this is an uncouth hold. 2 players and they're dropping in, landing on each other's head.
ชิป
It
หาย
could
ละ
be easier for Lackey, assigned, sealed, and delivered to this man with the heal up for his teammate.
เสียหาย
Munchkin's
ครับ
gonna be back up,
แต่ว่าไม่มีเซนติเนลครับผม
fighting form. And in a
จังหวะนัว
5v3, that's another
ไม่ฟิกไหลเข้ามาไม่มีใครรู้
comment from Paper Rex, tagged up
เอ้า
a ranged fight, a
ชิป
one
หายแล้ว
from Munchkin. Clinical. As now there's
วิ
only
น
2
สำคัญ
attackers standing. Their chances are looking pretty slim.
Yeah, he almost killed Devi through the screen as well, so he's going to be half HP entering the site. They don't even know the Munchkin's there. A perfect reposition. This might be a flawless return to form as Devi's the only man left standing. A 1v5 scenario. Talk about can he do any semblance of damage. As said, they invested some extra credits into this round, so the next round
ใช่น้อง
not
ซีเจถูก
exactly
ต้องครับ
going
ผ
to
ม
be pretty.
เกือบแล้วฮะเกือบละ
Wouldn't normally talk about saving, but I think actually holding onto a gun here would have more value, and he's just been seen and knowing exactly where he is now. I imagine there's going to be pressure placed onto this man. Blast packs could be thrown in, but it's just going to be the entirety of the squad looking to just jump down upon him within those last few seconds. Well, it's not even needed. First one gets the job done, and Gen G
กลับ
will
ตัว
extend
ก็
their
ไม่ได้
lead.
เหมือนนั่งอยู่เหรอ
Players alive,
นั่งขี้อยู่มีคนชะโงกมองมาจากข้างบน
scary because it feels like since the very beginning of some of these halves, Gen G haven't had a problem when it comes to economy. And I think for this 6-9 scoreline, Paper X attack side, they get a decent buy out of it. And, you know, it might even seem weird if you look at the timeline. You lose the 3rd round after winning first 2. What's the issue? The issue is the damage done. 2 players alive coming out of both of those rounds. It meant constant reinvestment, and Paper X now left with a stinger and a sheriff. Light shields on most players. Some heavy disadvantages to play with. And well, I mean, it kind of has worked because Munchkin fell into it, but
เฮ้ยหรือว่าไม่เฟล
not
แต่
doing
แบบเหมือน
exactly
นี่มันหลุดจริงว่ะวันเนี้ย
Above, they've had to
Valorant
re-smoke it. Again, an explosive start to the round, almost a kill. Well, I say almost, it ended up with 3. This is exactly what Paper X does. These
Dina said
fast-paced
Leo.
plays into the site. As mentioned, this was a weaker purchase. They had some pieces missing
ทุกครั้ง
with
ที่
that
เป็น
Sheriff
เซ
and
ตเฟล
Stinger.
นี่มันก็ดูดีขึ้น
Now
มา
though, you look towards
แต่
the players of
ด่าน
Gen G.
บายของ
เออจริง
And
สงสัยต้องเฟลบ่อย
V4 scenario.
ๆ แต่เล็กน่า
Flash
จะ
is
ไม่
already
ปลื้ม
going to reveal Texture's position. And they've spotted Karen as well, although I say
คาร
that.
อน
The peek out never really came in.
Hey.
The player behind the back of the site.
possible นะ
Probably seen him now. It gets a little bit more interesting. Space given to Texture, but
เอ้ยมาแล้วว่ะ
shots landed
ช็อตเรียกความมั่นใจครับ
He's
ช็อต
been
นี้
quiet
อารอน
so far,
Way
but
back, way
popping a
back.
couple of heads with the sheriff isn't going to go amiss.
ไอ้เพิ่งเครื่องเพิ่งแลนดิ้งไงเสียดายไปแล้ว
we
เมื่อกี้
gave the same caveat coming into the last half, and then Gen G ran away with it. But here, a challenge early on, and more importantly, a challenge with so many weaknesses on the board. I mean, this was a round where you have a couple of rifles, and what ends up winning it is a stinger diving onto site, 2 kills out of a sheriff to close the round out. Doesn't get much better than that. It was even a classic jumping around the corner to find one of those opening duels in elbow.
It's also now you've
โอ้
talked
พี่มอนนี่
about
อยากให้
8
กลับโอเมน
rounds in
นะ
a
จริง
row that were lost.
พี่มอน
An
มาจัด
8-2 score
มา
line.
จัดอะ
The difference is now just 2. That's how close
ปก
Paper
ติ
X
ด่านนี้
managed
มอ
to
น
bring
เล่นแอ
this.
สตา
Going onto their favored
Team
side, the B site
Oh, okay.
under serious pressure. Half the team
อุ้ยเรา
still
เข้ามา
waiting
นี่
patiently.
เนียนจัดคารอน
It's sublime. He's managed to TP right, and he gets away with murder. Brilliant from Carol.
โอ้โห
We talk about picking this player out of ranked. He's put the ranked play into the pro play.
And it works. You know, sometimes you just got to throw out those curveballs. You're focused on so many different things. You don't think the Lunatic's going to be up top, but my goodness, what a reposition from him. And clearly one that wasn't expected on the other side. And again, we fall back into economy discussion around this squad. They've been sitting pretty. They've been looking fantastic. They were able to obviously rebuy
ทำไมเขาหันหลบมันต้องซูมด้วยอ่ะ
of the damage done early on. And well, they only really
แต่แก
need
มอง
one of
เห็น
those
ใกล้หรือเปล่า
rifles by the looks of
บาง
things.
ทีน้ำหนักคลิกขวา
Timeout
มันลง
called by
พี่ผม
Paper
ไม่เล่
X
นบ่อย
as they can now feel that it's getting very late into this game. We're at a stage where if Gen G picks up one more,
A slight bit disjointed like that round. Karen just pulls out a crazy play and is able to win the round for them. 10-7, as you said, everything on the brink here. Seekers available. On the other side, a Blade Storm as well for Meteor, but I don't know if he'll use that in this round unless he sees the value. An immediate setup for the Paranoia, but this is a ruse. The spike is over on towards B.
วิเฟสเอครับ โอ้
เจ็บจัด
perhaps Forsaken.
เจ็บมากอะส
The
แปมนี้
decay is going to fade, but he's still half
Oh!
HP, and Munchkin finds it too easy to
ดอก
deal
นี้
with
ก็
him.
เจ็บเหมือนกันครับ
One well-placed shot, and he's down and out.
กูจะเฟกเอาบีว่ะ
Now we need to see the return for
Oh.
Gen G as another is found. Something falls. 2 rifles still in play.
จบเลย
คารอนเล่นแบบ
Still in
คอยกัน
play.
ตลอดเลย
And a few flashes here
เรา
and
ไม่
there.
รู้
One, in fact, just on Divide. Not a lot for them to fight their way
เรา
back
ไม่
through
ร้อง
with utility, but it's this man's position
เรีย
that
บร้อย
might
เล
get
ย
them something. He's found another with the weaker weapons. This man's an animal.
โอ้โห
Oh,
ดู
he's
วาง
being
เป้า
put down. And for PaperX, they look to take it elsewhere, but those steps are heard. Meteor's in position, unbeknownst to them. You might have her trail, but, well, it's a little more difficult to deal with her cleanly. Mind Freak, the last man standing, 1v3. And Munchkin's already spotted him. He's a known quantity with a
หลัง
flank
เขามาไว
underway.
จัดเลยว่ะ
Munchkin just needs to buy some time, back off, and let his teammates take it. And gets this kill, he's got himself a Viper's Pit to play with. Or if he dies, I suppose.
That's the
Nah.
thing. He's literally
Law,
just
law.
playing with him because he knows that flank is coming.
Oh.
I really love it. It was brought up by Lakia in the
Yeah, well.
halftime interview that he believes that like playing
When
with
he
someone
cut
like
King, I'll do
Munchkin has
it.
brought a lot of depth to his own playstyle, and you can just see the intelligence even in this round. He literally just pulled Mind Freak towards him. He had no plans to fight him at any stage. Wants to just play the higher percentage play, and that's why Gen G have been able to convert a lot of these advantages. And for PaperX,
ไม่ต้องเหรอ
a
เอฟไม่
lot
ต้อ
of
ง
the
เหร
time I
อเอ
don't
ฟ
mind these gambles, but I feel like Forsaken has
Yeah.
been one of the sort
เฮ้ย
of
เล่น
glimmers
อะไร
of
กัน
hope.
วะ
So you were almost
กิน
going,
น้ำดีกว่า
he has to get something,
กินน้ำดีกว่า
otherwise it's just now a push without him going into the site, and it didn't work with him.
You know, the thing is for PaperX right now, at an eye test, you might think it's not doom and gloom. 11-7, 4-round gap, it's not that bad. There's a chance for them to fight back, albeit here with weaker weapons, but they've looked good there. The problem is, they've won 4 of those 7 rounds off the pistol and follow-up. Like, the injection of rounds early makes this look like a much closer game than it is. But Gen G have been dominating in rifle rounds.
ทำอะไร
Now
ก็
they've
แย่ไป
got
หมด
4 ultimates to fall back on, up against
Ui.
weaknesses, but no Lakia.
พาโคตร
A
สวย
big opening kill for the side of PaperX. As Heaven could now be theirs. Gen G might start to panic, might make a mistake, and with Munchkin inside the smoke isolated, that might just be the mistake they were looking for.
Oh, this could be big! He
Ow.
actually switches away, and it's just going to be the shutdown.
Woo.
Surely from Meteor. He starts
let's
off the
get
round
that.
and ends it as well. 12-7. This map looking over, as you said, in terms of buy
น้อง
rounds.
ภูมิสวัสดีครับ
We've barely
เกสา
seen
รติ
anything.
ไปแล้วด้วย
3
ผ
of
ม
them, in
อยาก
fact.
เห็น
Well,
เลย
guess what, Mitch? They need 5 in a row.
5 in a row, up against 4 ultimates, only the Blade Storm that's gone. Like, keep in mind, Gen G have a full buy with Seekers, with a Viper's Pit, with a Showstopper from the shadows. And so that's a lot for this defensive side to close out this game. If you remove those ultimates, it looks
การ
like
ที่
they'll close out the
เขา
game.
จัดเวที
Because
ใก
they're
ล้ๆอ
winning
ย่างเงี้ยมัน
almost all of the buy rounds thus
ค่อน
far.
ข้างเดือด
The closer rounds for PaperX have been
ค่อนข้าง
individual,
เดือดจริง
and they need to show up
เมื่
individually
อก่อนเวทีไกล
and
กันไง
together.
ไม่ได้
5
ยิน
in a row needed, and the challenge already underway.
เอ้า
Munchkin
Woke
can
away.
help it.
Yeah, he put down early utility to try and slow this push a little bit, but the fact is, he underestimated the pacing. Lakia in the corner, but they
Ui.
expected. He's
Sonic
stuck in the
Bite.
mud. Good utility usage in this round. It leaves now Karen. He's had
Wow.
some magical plays, but they know exactly where he is. Well, it seems so.
น้องม่อนโดด
Munya
คิว
goes
หรืออะไรวะ
bouncing past him. Now there is a flank, and no one really watching it, although it seems like Texture
2 ตัว
was doubting the player behind. Also a 1v1 taken, but it won't matter in the end.
แล้วก็
1 versus 5.
มิวสิกนะครับ
Some
มิวสิกของ
serious
เดือนของ
mistakes
ไปนะค
needed,
รับ
and
ผม
Munya's
ครับ
going to put him down immediately.
Okay, there it is. The start
ฝั่
of
งห
the
นึ่ง
way
ก็มีนะ
back
มีภาพ
for this squad. They've actually
มันไม่ได้
managed
ขาด
to deal
แบ
with
บหน้าก็จะ
the
มีลุ้น
vast
อยู่
majority of the ultimates as well there, Tom. Gen G are left now with just a Viper's Pit. We listed all of them last round. They got used. They found nothing. So not only winning a buy round, but winning a
ต้อง
stacked
ให้แบบ
buy
ว่า
round in
ทุกคน
terms of
ตื่นแบบ
ult
นี้มันอาจจะ
economy.
แบบยังไม่ตื่น
They've
เลย
still
บาง
got
คน
some left to play with themselves. The Blade Storm can help out
เจนจีมันตื่นมาเลยไง
rounds. And with
หมดเลย
4 needed, Gen G are finally seeing some negative economic state. They're waiting from Lakia was not expected. Good flash too, and it's a double. He's got his teammate Meteor with him, and they're absolutely extinguishing the flame of PaperX's early fight. This squad's going to have to go back and reconsider, surely.
Yeah, I like this. Just a direct counter. These A-side takes have been one of the major problems. Viper's Pit, although they might just about win 2
เกือบ
duels. A little bit dangerous.
อยู่แล้วลา
Spamming.
เกียโลด้วย ตัวฮิว
Because of
จัด
that, being able to get rid of Meteor is a
โอ้
big
มันปิด
pick.
ตายหน้า
Because that was looking
ไอ้
like
ที่
map control and the man advantage for Gen
ต้อง
G.
โยกเลยอะ
Instead, much more of a problem. And also bear in mind, Lakia is the only
กลัว
one
โด
who
นดัก
can't
เหมือน
be
กันนะ
healed.
เนี่ย
This, I mean, that cam there is very important. Just seeing something clear the spawn, you see how much space they lost. Because this Viper's Pit isn't just stopping a push, it's stopping all of Paper X's plans. Their plan was to blitz A, they get slowed, they get stopped, and now they have to go back and re-clear everything. Even if there's not a player flanking,
ให้
if
ซัม
they're
ติง
just
ไป
pushed up in
เช็ค
B
ก่อน
main,
ว่า
holding that aggro intel, you're going to find it very
เป็น
hard
ที
to
ม
actually
ไม่
dive
ได้
in.
ข่าว
This TP is to B site. Up
เอ้า
top, it's going to be broken last
ดีนะ
second
เขายิง
with
ทิ้ง
something down below, spotted and taken down.
โอ้โห
Gen G have
Oh,
the
Victor.
advantage. They're going to challenge Munchkin
Oh.
inside the pit. And what a mistake that was. Welcome to his world with Munyet, the last man standing, and a free kill presented. He's got 3 more
Yeah,
kills.
seconds.
He's found the 4Ks in the past, Dom, but this would be
doesn't
exceptional.
have time.
Good luck to
Oh.
you, and good night.
Yeah, it just wasn't enough there. And the fact is the
มาร์กิ้งมัน
running
เก่าจัด
through